okay, and have an extraordinary life. And there's 20 techniques in here that I learned from my masters, but you've got to learn to control that little voice, because right now, little voices are different than they were in 2019. Words like depression, confusion, desperation, right? These are the words that weren't so commonly used back prior to 2020, but they're now being used, and you need to know those for your teams when you're selling, for your family, for your friends. You know, the ripple effect of COVID-19 and all this quarantine and everything that's been going on, the ripple effect is not even being talked about. But what I know from friends, from reliable sources, that the number that alcohol use, substance abuse, child and spousal abuse, suicide is at an all-time high, higher in the last 9 months than it's been probably the last several years combined. That's a problem. That's a very, very big problem. So, in fact, as a teacher, remember we said sell, team, teach? You need to teach little voice to yourself, to your family, just basic techniques. So I'll give you one technique right now, okay? So for the remainder of this program, wherever you're, over the next couple of days, as you're learning things, if you learn something new, I want you to celebrate the wins. That's a technique. Celebrate wins. If you're an athlete, you know. If you ever watch any kind of sporting event, anytime somebody scores a goal, does something, people celebrate, or the players celebrate. High five, fist pump, whatever it is, you pulling a fist, say yes, whatever it is, but you need to anchor that win. Most powerful thing you can do to reverse negative momentum and build positive momentum. So right now, if there's somebody with you, I want you to give them a high five and tell them they're awesome. Go ahead. And if there's nobody there and it's just you and me right now, I just want to give me a fist pump right here in the camera, a fist bump right in the camera, boom, or a double one, boom, boom, okay? I know it's crazy, but I bet you smiled, and I bet it brought your energy up. And what we know is highest energy wins, okay? So celebrate the win. So this is your number one liability. That's what we know. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to spend a little bit of time on the one aspect that we talked about in the formula, and that is on teams, okay? So let's talk about teams. Because it is the deciding factor. Team is the deciding factor between going from the S to the B quadrant. You gotta sell in the S, as an S, or you die. You eat what you kill. And if you don't sell, you won't last. Okay, so that's a given. But many of you are looking to make the next transition, and you make the next transition, it's gonna require your ability to build a team. Now, there's 3 parts to that. 3 parts. How many parts? Type in the chat box. How many parts? Okay, 3 parts. 3 parts, okay? So the first part, clearly, is you have to recruit. You have to recruit. You have to recruit. Now, because why? Because you want to get the right people on the bus the first time, if you can. You don't want to be faced with a situation where you got the wrong person, or you thought you did, and you did, a family member, and it just turned out to be a big mess. So you want to recruit. Now, how do you do that? Now, I'm going to share my screen here a little bit, divert, and give you an example. Out of business, okay? I'm doing in business, out of business. Every year since 2012, I've gone to Tanzania, Africa, and climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And I'm going to explain to you why here in a second. So let me share my screen with you. Okay, there she is. Okay, Mount Kilimanjaro, almost 5,900 meters above sea level. Largest freestanding mountain in the world. Largest mountain in Africa. It's not a dangerous climb, but it's the altitude is the issue. I mean, the altitude, the oxygen level, I believe, at the top is about 50% of what it is at sea level. So you got to go very slow, and you got to train for it, clearly. So that's Kilimanjaro. Now, I went there in 2012, and it was in 2013. It was such a profound experience. That I decided that I wanted to teach. I wanted my friends to go with me. I wanted to have some of my students come with me because there were so many lessons on leadership. It was a microcosm. 7 days on that mountain just blew me away of the number of things that I learned and how I was able to apply it to my business and to my life immediately at a cellular level. It was amazing. Okay, so the question then became, when we created something called Mountain Leadership Experience. Alfredo's been there with me. And this was the first mountain leadership team that we took up there. Small group. Other than our two guides, nobody in this group had ever climbed the mountain. Nobody had ever climbed a mountain. I don't even climb mountains, okay? So, but they were able to successfully get us all the way up and all the way down safely, have a great life-changing experience. I'm going, oh my God, how do you do that? Because not much different. You want to build a business, tough. You want to have certain sales goals, big job. You want to move to the B quadrant. It's no joke. It's a big deal. So getting this group of people that have never done something like this before, there's very few people. By the way, people that go to Kilimanjaro, only 40% of the people that ever go there make it to the summit worldwide. Every single one of this, we didn't do 40%. Everybody went and everybody made it. Okay, so the goal was to take this group here, and most specifically, that's the summit right there, the Huru Peak. That's the highest point on the mountain. So the question then is in recruiting. The first thing was to recruit that team. What was the mission? What's the mission? What's the goal? Got to start with a mission. Got to start with a goal. Got to start with something. Okay? You want to start with a mission. So the mission is to get to the top of the mountain and back down safely. And so then you got to ask yourself, okay, so there's lots of missions you can take on. So the question is, why? This is critical. Why do you want to do it? Becoming an entrepreneur is no joke. Why do you want to do it? We talked about income is good, to touch a lot of people, and to obtain a certain profile. If that why is big enough, then you'll keep going because there will be difficult times. There are difficult times on that mountain. Times in the training. But your desire and your why, or your desire to accomplish the mission, has got to be greater than your fears or the obstacles in the way, or you won't get out of bed in the morning. Okay, we know that. So the question is why. So when you're recruiting, be clear on the mission. So when you're talking to people, what is the mission? Be clear on the mission and why. So by the way, you know why I went to Kilimanjaro? If you think you know why I went to Kilimanjaro, type in the chat box why you think I went. Go ahead, just type in there why you think I went to Kilimanjaro in the beginning.
Ok, mi máquina se trabó completamente. Ya no me...
Achievement. Improve myself. Yeah,
Correcto,
yeah,
pero
yeah, right, awesome. That's not the reason.
no me los,
The reason
a ver, espérame, a ver.
The reason I went is right here.
Chingada madre.
That's my son.
Espérame. Ya.